At the championship winners and think, yeah, you know, those are great players. Stan is fantastic. Hoy is great. Surrender is top notch. But the real list of assassins comes from the people who sneak in the final moments.
Speaking of which, Fr0zen, competitor in the last call tournament last year for the Americas.
Where he infamously played Priest. Control Priest to try and target, I believe, a
Control Warrior was one of the most popular decks then, and he had double Mind Control Priest. And he's actually said that he wanted to try and make a counter lineup for this tournament, but not get too clever. And I actually asked him, you didn't want to repeat of the last call last year? And he kind of grinned. But anyway, we are into this, which could be the final game of this match. Sintolol playing his Priest deck, which is not a Priest deck we've seen much so far this weekend. He's playing Dragon Combo Priest against Fr0zen's Highlander Priest.
Yeah, this is definitely quite the volatile matchup, as we even seen with Sinto's match versus Purple. It was kind of a knife's edge where the Dragon Priest was always threatening to kill the Highlander Priest at any given moment. Very scary if you're the Priest. It's like just a single 5 to 10 health minion could be game over.
Yeah. And here, Sintolol is in a position he would rather not be. He is currently behind on the board. And he does have a Potion of Madness. He could cash in his Potion of Madness for a new card if he wants. Potion of Madness heal.
Right.
I think he might do that. Yeah, it's actually exactly what he's going to do. He's going to Potion of Madness heal up the Cleric.
Yeah. Also a little bit interesting that Fr0zen had the opportunity to coin out a heal and draw a card, but rather than do that, he wants to just save the coin for future uses.
He wants his cards here. Finds a draw with Cleric. Picks up an Auctioneer. Inner Fire, one of the very key cards of Sintolol's deck. And Dustbreaker takes care of that Meddlesome Insect. Cleric is down, and ooh, Kazakus picks up Fr0zen here.
Right.
With Raza in hand, lots of the key pieces coming together. One of the problems for Fr0zen in this matchup is that a lot of his removal is not quite as strong against Sintolol's deck as it could be, as Dragonfire Potion does struggle to kill the dragons Sintolol is playing.
And Fr0zen wants board tempo, wants to get ahead of the trades rather than just be reactive to the Dragonode Operative.
A pretty poor selection of spells for Sintolol here. He doesn't really want most of these. Potion of Madness can potentially take an Acolyte or a Blood Mage Thalnos, draw him some cards, and prevent the draw, which is what he decides to go with.
Yeah, having combat tricks like Potion of Madness is often what makes his deck sometimes get over the hump at the very last second. I like it.
Potion at 5. Mystic Wool is potentially attractive, as is King's Blood.
Yes.
So being able to deal with a large minion and draw cards, kind of the combination of effects that Fr0zen is looking for, that is in fact exactly what he takes.
Well, 2 pieces of a huge combo is available to Sinto with the Radiant Elemental to Lyra. But nothing really too much going on here this turn, considering that the Dustbreaker does hurt him a lot too. If he plays Dustbreaker and heals, the Raza still has to trade on the Dragonode Operative. So
it's true.
It doesn't look very appetizing.
I see Sinto shaking his head, not really happy. Just gonna cycle Master Spell and kill the Raza, heal up his dragon. But this is not what he wants. He doesn't want to be passing the tempo back and actually just allowing Fr0zen to be the one who's dictating the pace of the game. This actually is just an Auctioneer opportunity for Fr0zen. There is no way for Sintolol to just directly kill this. He could Duskbreaker plus Pyromancer Inner Fire. That's his potential way to kill this Auctioneer right now. But there's no individual card that can actually clear this, but he does happen to have the one copy of the Pyromancer that does offer him a clear with that Duskbreaker.
Right, and he's trading comp. He basically, Fr0zen's willing to exchange resources. He has a lot of card draw in his hand, says you have to find some way to kill this, and Sinto would have to give up a valuable card in the Inner Fire, plus you know, some other possible important cards like the Wild Pyromancer, which can help draw big cards with the Northshire Cleric.
I must consider.
He is indeed considering. Yeah, can't let that live. Dustbreaker plus Pyromancer Inner Fire. And Auctioneer goes down, and each of these take a little bit of damage, which could matter. Psychic Scream, the draw for Fr0zen, so he has an answer to any board Sintolol can create, including that Malagos, which you haven't actually even commented on since it came off a Northshire Cleric early on. Huge health 4-attack minion is very difficult for Fr0zen to deal with most of the cards in his deck.
Yes, but he has 2 cards that can. Not only the Kazakus Potion, but the Psychic Scream. Also, you know, Fr0zen does have a way to kill off this board. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't. Dragonfire Potion doesn't even hit the Dustbreaker.
Right.
Huh. Inconvenient. He could Shadow Visions, but there's a lot of spells remaining in his deck.
I was just gonna Psychic Scream him. That may come back to haunt Fr0zen, because he is just trying to get a safe board here, but Sinto's got a lot of really scary boards that he can generate.
Yeah, and Sinto now has Lyra and Radiant Elemental, and let's say Fr0zen uses his Kazakus Potion, and then Malagos goes uncontested. The thing is, though, Sinto does commit to a Lyra and the Divine Spirit. Single Shadow or Pain will shut down
It's true.
the Lyra, and then all of a sudden he used a big combo piece, and now he's just down to 1 Divine Spirit, 1 Inner Fire, and needs Shadow Visions for help.
And crucially, I believe both clerics are dead for Sintolol.
Right.
Or well, one is in his hand, but 1 cleric is dead. So his ability to draw cards is far less than Fr0zen's deck. So if he invests these resources and they're killed, yeah, he's actually going for it. He's going to go ahead and Lyra, Radiant, Divine Spirit. He recognizes that he needs. Oh, not a Divine Spirit. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear, he runs right into Dragonfire.
Yes.
And now he's going to Malagos, and Fr0zen is going to have the Kazakus Potion.
Oh, it wouldn't be a world championship unless Malagos got turned into a sheep in the quarterfinals.
This one's not off Babbling Book. This one's off the Kazakus Potion, but Sintolol is not going to be happy.
Oh.
And there's a little of that reaction he said that he could hold it into the stage. Well, maybe not when your win condition just goes down to a polymorph.
We need a bingo card, and that needs to be one on every single world championship. That is brutal for Sintolol, and oh man, you can just tell with the expression on his face that this is turning real ugly.
And that Inner Fire Fr0zen picked up is actually potentially a powerful tool with his Shadow Word Death. We saw this in one of Sintolol's previous games against Purple. He had a big high health minion that he was trying to buff up but keep out of range of Shadow Words. And the Inner Fire that at the time Purple picked up was able to give him a way to kill the Twilight Drake.
Right.
Sinto was hoping to sit back and defend from any removal until he could Inner Fire it.
And another problem too is that was his big dragon commit.
Right.
So if he picks up another operative.
Yeah, he is currently out of dragons. That Twilight Acolyte has no ability at the moment. Another Divine Spirit.
Wow.
You wish to live forever.
And Fr0zen does have a Silence in his hand, so he can shut that down with Silence if he decides he needs to.
Yeah, Fr0zen's got a lot of the answers, and the card draw that was plentiful is paying off.
Once upon a time.
Oh, let's just take Temporous. Let's go. That's not a card you take in this measure, no. Of all matchup to play Temporous, this is the last one. It's in fact the opposite. If Sintolol had a Temporous, he could take 2 turns in a row, he just kills you immediately. Because he plays something, then buffs it and kills you.
Right.
So, no, don't do it, Fr0zen.
You almost sold me on that one, but jeez.
Okay, Anixia, there you go. You could go proactive with a big dragon. That I can approve of anyway.
Huh. Twilight Drake's pretty nice and a meaty dragon, considering that Fr0zen also has his own handful of dragon synergies in his deck.
Yeah, we're going to see the Silence on the Cleric, and it's going to go down. Another wince from Sintolol as the resource, the minion he built up so strong, is going down.
Yeah.
Got a hand of combo pieces, but he needs a lot more. Radiant Elemental, that'd be great if he still had that Lyra. be great if he had shadow visions. Go digging.
Yeah, I think Sinto is just going to play this one out, but knows that this one is very likely to go Fr0zen's way. And Fr0zen just continues the all too familiar Dragon Raid Operative into basically infinite
There's
operative.
another Nether Spite. So
Right.
it's the Dragon Priest mirror of age
Yes.
all over again. Just keep the train coming.
And for people unfamiliar with how Discover works, it is biased towards your class choices. So he's very likely to keep discovering Freeze Dragons.
Unlucky, no more operatives.
Oh, I guess I'll just generate more Yseras, which draws me more dragons. Infinite source of dragons. I mean, he also has an Inner Fire, so like if he plays Ysera,
Ysera,
that's
it's huge.
12 damage.
I wonder.
It is. Duskbreaker, all right. Fine. One thing that Fr0zen does need to be careful, though, is if he does have a huge minion of his own with a huge health, he could get Twilight Acolyte, Potion, Double Divine Spirit,
Oh, wow.
Inner Fire. So he needs to be aware that he doesn't play something that Sintolol can just explode him with instantly. So Ysera is a real risk.
Ysera's a huge risk.
There's an operative, so Twilight Acolyte is online, operative is not.
Oh my gosh. You're right. If he had Inner Fire and a way to buff health just a little bit
Yeah,
more,
Ysera would have killed yourself.
that would have been death.
I wonder.
Yeah, a Power Word Shield and Inner Fire will do this.
It's true. Well, he's going to Duskbreaker himself, so Sintolol can't possibly do that.
This is so smart.
I love it. Fr0zen's great.
Wow.
He's going to damage all his own minions, so there is no threat of Twilight Acolyte plus health buffs into Inner Fire to kill him.
Fantastic recognition of how Sintolol's outs work. Wants to do his best to set up a lethal.
None of these cards do anything.
Great. Get Shadow or Death in the instance.
He's got Potion of Madness. If there's a big health minion on Sinto's side, Potion of Madness plus the Inner Fire, he can just combo him back with his own combo.
Right.
Another Potion of Madness. That's not going to do it. Mind Blast in Fr0zen's hand represents the lethal damage he needs. He may have to try to throw some minions into one another to take some damage away.
I mean,
He can Acolyte one of the operatives, potion it into the other one to take some damage off the board.
that's not the winning line.
It's not going to win the game, but it will mean he doesn't die next turn.
It's true. But throwing away the Twilight Acolyte means that he has zero chance to win at that point.
Yeah,
He's just going to hope that Fr0zen does that the damage, but he very much does.
Yep, 13 on the board, Mind Blast in hand, and Fr0zen is going to take this match to a game number 5.
He said he had less than 10% chance to do it, but now all he has to do is win one more game. We're going to game 5 to determine who is going to the semifinals.